Whenever I make astrology readings for all the 12 zodiac signs, one of the most common questions I get is that should I listen for my sun sign, my rising sign, or my moon sign? And the short answer is that most professional astrologers will recommend you to start with your rising sign, but there's a very important reason why. And the reason is that your rising sign, also called the ascendant, is the one that determines the layout of your entire natal chart. So in Western astrology, which is the one that I practice, the rising sign becomes the starting point for all the 12 houses. So all the 12 houses are the actual areas of life where different events would unfold, everything from relationships, career, family, finances, health, travel, and so forth. So when an astrologer talk about current planetary transits, what we do is that we are often describing which house those planets are moving through. So just to give you an example of this, and for the ease of it, let's say you are an Aries rising. When you are Aries rising, that means that your first house is in Aries. Let's now say that I'm talking about the Jupiter transit. And the Jupiter transit is right now moving through the sign of Leo. That tells me that Jupiter is moving through your 5th house. So I can make a prediction, a general prediction, based on what is going on in the 5th house. So I would say the qualities of Jupiter combined with the qualities of your 5th house. Another simple example, again based on you being Aries rising for the simplicity of it, let's say that there's a full moon coming up in Aquarius. Then I would know that for Aries rising people, Aquarius is residing in the 11th house, and therefore it is the 11th house that are being influenced by the upcoming full moon. And if you are a visual learner, you can take a good look at the screen of this video now, and you will notice that I have attached a zodiac wheel, and this zodiac wheel is divided into equal parts, meaning that this is what I practice is whole sign astrology, is Western whole sign astrology, where each of the houses are divided into equal parts of 30 degrees, adding up to a 360 degrees circle. So now let's take or build on the example that I gave you, and let's say that you are an Pisces rising instead. Well, then this wheel will spin one time counterclockwise. And if I again talk to a Pisces rising about the upcoming Aquarius full moon, I will know that this lunation takes part of the 12th house because now they will have Aquarius in their 12th house. So this is a little bit about how that works. And if you follow along in my forecast, you will know that I recommend to listen for first your rising, then your sun and your moon if you want the full picture. Well, if we move a little bit to the understanding of your sun sign when it comes to forecasts, I recommend that you listen to your sun, especially if you are above the age of 44, 45. This is usually where this can become even more resonating, but that's a story for another time. Well, the sun, when you listen for your sun sign, of course, for some people, the sun can fall in the 1st house with the ascendant as well. But often that will not be the case, and therefore the sun will give a very different insight about upcoming events in your birth chart. And I think it would be in its right place to highlight once more that the reason why I recommend, and most astrologers recommend, listening for your rising sign as the most precise one when it comes to general predictions is that listening for the rising sign will get the events and transits right in regards to house, which is basically the areas in which this will unfold, whereas let's say your sun is not falling in your 1st house with the ascendant, then the house prediction might not necessarily be so precise. However, there might be a great chance that underneath all of it, the sun sign is still adding up in a general prediction to the whole the more wholesome picture, or at least as wholesome a picture as possible to give when we talk about general forecasts, where obviously I'm not sitting with your natal chart and going through it in detail. The best way of describing the difference maybe between the sun and the ascendant in a very simplified way, because I like to go into details, but I'll try to make this very brief. But let's say your sun is what your soul came to become more of, and your ascendant is sort of like the movie character that you are playing in order to make that goal or that soul's purpose sort of possible. That's the best way of putting it simply. So now again, when I do 12 sign forecast, obviously I do not have your personal birth chart in front of me, so the only way that I can make it as precise as possible is to go through all the 12 zodiac signs and see what's generally going on in each of the houses. And then I always recommend for you to listen to these perhaps 3 areas so that you can get the most wholesome forecast, even if it's not personalized based on your birth chart. And the third and final element that you can listen for in general forecast is your moon sign as well. So the moon sign is more about your subconscious mind, your emotional body. So if you wish to have that layer added on to a general forecast, that is when it's recommended to listen to your moon signs, because there might be elements in your subconscious that such forecast can access and that might resonate with you in a specific moment in time. To sum it up, if you are short of time, you just want a quick reading, go for your rising sign. But if you're curious to have it expanded a little bit more, but you do not want to have a personal reading or a transit reading that could dive deeper into what is going on specifically for you, you can choose to listen freely for your sun sign and your moon sign as well. But I'm curious to hear from you. Like, which sign do you usually listen to? Do you listen to your rising, your sun, or your moon? Let me know in a comment below. And if you would like to understand how all 3 of them work together in your own birth chart, you can book a personal reading through the link in the description box below. And remember to like and subscribe, and I hope to meet you in another video. Bye for now.